What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Today, KIZUNA Clash Big Mom is now live, so make sure to go ahead, build your teams. I've already made a preparation video for those of you who don't know what the boss does, so plenty of time to go ahead and build up your teams. But in today's video, we have free-to-play teams and also my own personal teams that I've built thus far that have been able to clear KIZUNA Clash Big Mom. But before we get into that, I want to talk about the unit herself and also talk about the exchange shop. So if we go over to the exchange, we can go ahead and have a look at all the boxes and see what we have here. So the first box, which I've already just completed, gives you one copy of Big Mom, and it also gives you a rare recruit ticket. Box 2, you can see you got another special rare recruit ticket and another copy of Big Mom. Box 3, you've got the Marco and Ace limit break materials. Now, we do know that the super type characters are going to be coming very soon, and specifically for Snake Man and for Sabo, the Marco and Ace character is a phenomenal unit that you want to have ready for those upcoming characters. So I would suggest make sure to get this guy done. Then you've also got some other characters available here as well. You've got the actual copy of Marco and Ace, Big Mom. You've also got Barto in here as well, which I believe is like the Sai Barto, which was from one of the first KIZUNA clashes. Another rare recruit, Rainbow Gem. And then, of course, in the boxes that follow, you've got, again, more materials for Marco and Ace, more materials for Marco and Ace. And then for box 7 is your typical stuff. And unfortunately, we only get 2 of each tablet for 1,000 items, which is pretty bad. I would have hoped it was a little higher than that. You know, 5 of the tablets for 1,000 I think is relatively fair, because this is not a co-op KIZUNA Clash, so it's going to be relatively difficult to get those tablets. But on box 6, you do actually have 2 of each of the tablets on 500 spots. So if you want to really get your hands on some tablets, you could potentially, like, just go out on box 6 and then go to box 7 straight afterwards. That's what you could do, but those are options that you have. Now, talking about Big Mom herself, she's actually a really good unit. One thing that I should probably point out as well is that when you limit break this character, she actually does not, she doesn't use like her own limit break materials. She actually used the generic one. So make sure you have, you know, the materials available to go ahead and max her limit break. But let's talk about this character. So this Big Mom is an int powerhouse fighter character. This character's captain effect will go ahead and boost strength, quick, and int characters by 3 times, 1.25 health, heals by a number of enemies defeated by normal attacks multiplied by 5%. The crew's total recovery. That's a very odd captain effect, but look, it's a 3 times captain to strength, quick, and int. Who else do we know is a strength, quick, and int captain? That's right, Douglas Bullet. So this character is essentially a decent hybrid to run with Douglas Bullet. But let's talk about Big Mom's special, which starts off at 29 turns and you need 15 skill up, so it goes down to a 14 turn cooldown, but it goes and removes all beneficial effects, and it changes her own slot into matching, and if the enemy is immune to all status effects, then you get a 2 times attack boost for 1 turn, and a 1.75 color affinity to strength, quick, and int. That is honestly pretty good. The only thing is that the enemy has to be, you know, immune to all status effects, because it's not like a delay immunity or a defense down immunity. It specifically has to be one of those immunity buffs where they just block everything. So that actually isn't too common anymore, where they just, you know, block everything specifically. But, you know, if the enemy does have that, you can bring a character to get 1.75 color affinity and a 2 times attack boost. Pretty nice, if I do say so myself. What are her crewmate abilities? Powerhouse and Fighter get 50 attack and cannot be blown away. And her support effect only supports int, adding 7% base stats. That's pretty good. And she has slot bind by 5 turns. She has provoked attack by 200, which is a little weak. But either way, this character is honestly pretty good. I don't know how often you're going to use a character like this, but on paper, she actually is a pretty good unit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the KIZUNA Clash versus Big Mom. So first things first, we're going to talk about the free-to-play teams, and there'll be timestamps down below in the description so you guys can fiddle around to whichever teams you guys want to see. So first of all, we'll go through all the free-to-play teams, and then we'll have my personal teams afterwards. So first of all, the first boss that you'll go up against is the Quick Boss. Now, you predominantly want to be building a team of Striker, Powerhouse, and Driven characters, as those are the characters that get significant cooldown reduction on the first battle. On Stage 2, you're against Daifuku, who has 1,000,000 HP, and his preemptive attack gives you 5 turns of a chain lock, and this is where the support effect of the Strength Fortnite Reiju attached to that brand new judge is exceptional, because she will remove the 3 turns of that chain lock whenever your orbs are manipulated, which he also gives you badly matching slots. Now, this particular free-to-play team is not the best team in the world. I do have Hody Jones on this team because of a gimmick that's going to happen later on, but Hody Jones can definitely be replaced if you are deciding to run this free-to-play team for whatever reason. But yeah, all these Kizunas are able to be done in terms of full free-to-play, right? The final boss stage against Big Mom, she has a full immunity buff for 98 turns. Also, normal attacks only is quite prevalent in this Kizuna clash, as they normally are. And she also has 4 turns of % damage reduction, which is where this brand new judge is going to shine, because he's able to remove all turns of that, which is great. And then post level 30 on this Kizuna clash, Big Mom will actually apply a different debuff. Now, in this situation here, you're actually going to be going ahead and get inflicted with 7 turns of despair. So if you've got max sockets, it's going to go down to 4 turns. So you need someone to remove at least 4 turns of despair, good support effects, or really powerful specials. Like, definitely what you're going to need here. Hody Jones on this team is able to remove that despair once it's inflicted to you, but in terms of getting matching slots, you may need to change a couple characters around in order to secure those matching slots. And of course, any HP cut you do against Big Mom is going to be interrupted, and she's just going to heal back to full. The next boss is against the Dex variation, so you predominantly want to be building a team of Strength, Dex, and Psi characters, as those are the characters that receive cooldown reduction in this particular fight. And on the second battle, you're going to be up against Perospero, who has 1 million HP. And Perospero's preemptive attack will give you 5 turns of chain coefficient reduction, so you definitely want to bring someone on your team that is a chain locker. That's the best way to get around chain coefficient reduction, is by applying a chain lock. It just completely ignores the debuff altogether. And ensure with each of these mini boss stages on stage 2 that you clear them before the second turn completes, as if you don't, you're going to be inflicted with special reverse, and that's pretty much going to spell the end of your run, depending on your captain. You know, obviously if you've got Halloween Ace or something as a captain, you can counter the special reverse. But as for the final boss against Big Mom, she actually has 2 homie characters that surround her. We'll go into my pay-to-play teams a little later, but Mihawk and Perona are really good for this stage. Now, she also will special bind your entire team and give you a full board of block orbs, and the brand new judge is just perfect because he gets rid of the block orbs and also will get rid of the special bind. And then post level 30, she will paralyze you for 4 turns, and that is why Coliseum NL is on this particular team, as he's able to remove the paralysis. And also something to note is that if you HP cut her once again, she will heal back to full. But remember, there is normal attacks only, but it means that if you use like Legend Brook to die and then revive and then use the health cut, she would still heal back to full. So it's just a really annoying way with all these Kizunas, the way that they work. But I'll leave you guys with this, and we'll talk about the next variation once we get to it. The final variation is against the Int boss. Now, for this particular fight, you want to be bringing a team of Fighter, Cerebral, and Powerhouse characters. Those characters get the significant cooldown reduction on the first battle. And then on battle 2, you're up against Amand, who is an Int character with 1 million HP. And the only real thing about Amand that is problematic is the fact that she does have a barrier. It is a 4-hit barrier, so you have to hit 4 perfects before you break it, so relatively annoying, and you want to definitely take her out before the end of the second turn, before it goes into turn 3 because of special reverse. But overall, not really that annoying. It's just the fact that she has a barrier, like she doesn't have any annoying gimmick you have to get around. And then the final boss against Big Mom has a full immunity buff and normal attacks only once again, so they all share the same gimmicks of normal attacks only and full immunity. But on this specific variation, she has damage threshold, so you need someone to remove that. So in this particular circumstance, I'm using Coliseum Inuarashi or Coliseum Dogstorm to remove that, as well as applying an attack boost. And the thing is post level 30, that damage threshold becomes 5 turns instead of 3 turns, and you get a full board of badly matching slots. So in this particular circumstance here, I'm using Gil Tesoro to guarantee me a full board of Psi Orbs, and then I can use the the Ambush Sengoku to give us a 2x orb boost, which is quite strong. strong. But the real kicker here is the fact that when Big Mom is defeated, she does revive with 21% of her max HP. So essentially, you like have to bring the ambush Garp in order to kill Big Mom post revive. There is another way around it though. You could use someone like V2 Rayleigh, who's really good because V2 Rayleigh is boosted in this event, and you can only use one special post revive. So you know, you could use like Rayleigh for a 2x attack and orb boost if you wanted to do something like that, like a V2 Rayleigh friend captain. But either way, it's really annoying. Just make sure to bring ambush Garp, and you're not going to have too many problems post revive with this particular version of Big Mom. So now moving into my personal team. So first of all, we're going back again to the quick boss. Now, I talked about this team yesterday, but the way that it basically works is on stage 2 against Daifuku. With his preemptive attack, he obviously gives us the bad chain lock, which the Fortnite Rager support is going to remove. But he also gives us badly matching slots. Now, the really cool thing here is we can use the switch effect of Nami and Robin to store those badly matching slots. And then once we kill Daifuku, move into the final boss stage, we can then use the swap effect again of Nami and Robin to give us those badly matching slots back, because we can then use Judge to not only change those orbs into matching, but it also removes the % damage reduction that Big Mom has on the final stage. It's such a perfect combo, and on top of that, Nami and Robin are a 2.5 orb booster to Int and Dex, which is perfect, and then we've obviously got the Neo NL, who is a 2x attack booster to Dex, but not overly needed. I mean, the white bit on this team boosts nearly everyone's attack. I think it actually doesn't boost Nami and Robin's attack when they're in their dual form, unfortunately, but relatively good, because the main reason why we're bringing Whitebeard is because he actually removes the despair once we'll get inflicted like post level 30, and once we use all of our other specials, he's also a chain booster, which is pretty good. You know, it gives us a large amount of damage, you know, without having to bring another dedicated chain locker or anything like that. Plus, Whitebeard is boosted on this Kizuna Clash, so it's a little bit of extra damage, but I think, like, if you're just talking about, like, raw damage, definitely bringing, like, V2 Big Mom would be better because of the stat boost, and a 3.5 chain lock is way more substantial, but having Whitebeard on the team, just getting rid of the despair, just saves a lot of space on the team, that's for sure. And now moving on to my versus Dex team. Now, shout out to you guys in the comment section for pointing out a massive error in my team yesterday that I was talking about. I was going to bring Heracles, the brand new rare recruit Heracles, who is a 2x orb booster for strength and side characters, which would have been perfect because he's also boosted on this Kizuna. The only problem is that your team needs to consist of 5 strength or side characters. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that because I've got the Sanji and Pudding as my captain. I thought in my head that it was only 4 characters that are strength or side that you need, but no, you actually need 5 characters. So unfortunately, Heracles wasn't going to work here, but a 1-for-1 replacement that works just as good is the Don Krieg and Gin character. Really good unit, 2x all booster to all enemies, or to all characters on your crew, because the Big Mom does have the full immunity debuff and stuff. And then you've got Arlong for an attack boost. You have the Judge, of course, who's really good. You've also got Mihawk and Perona, which is the main reason why I wanted to bring this here. Unfortunately, I actually encountered the hidden boss, which means that I can't switch into Mihawk to get substantial type advantage, but you know, this early stage, it doesn't really matter. What I should be doing is switching to Perona on stage 1, so just in case if I do find the hidden boss, we can switch into Mihawk on the final stage. But as I said, early stages, not really too concerned about it, and this team, I think, is going to be my longest lasting team out of all my teams that I have so far. So really looking forward to using this team throughout this Kizuna Clash against Big Mom. So moving on to my final team is against the Int variation. This team is just a combination of just random units, but all of which work well together in order to get around, number one, the debuffs of the boss, as well as applying enough damage to basically KO the enemy. Now, the real big error that I have here is I end up using the Shanks special on stage 2. Looking back at it, definitely don't do that, and the main reason for it is because on the final boss, you will not be able to launch the Judge special, because he doesn't have anything to do. So that means that we cannot get the 2.5 times attack boost with Sober Mask. So essentially, do not use the Shank special here, because you've got 2 turns to kill the Amand, which you will definitely have time to do. Plus, you've got the Luffy Law switch, which enables him to bypass the barriers as well. So it's not really that big of a deal. So if I would have gone ahead and not used the Shank special here, we would have been able to get an even higher attack boost in the final stage. But I think overall, this team is going to be doing some pretty serious damage output for a pretty long amount of time. And especially with the fact that Judge and Sanji and Pudding are both Rainbow and have super effective against all types here, plus having a 2.5 orb boost, 2.5 attack boost, and a 3.5 chain lock, just all will combine together to give us a really good amount of damage. And as I said, once Big Mom revives, we can just launch the Garb special to complete the run. But that is going to finish off this video today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and if you guys did, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.